Hey everybody, Jeff Flush here for part two in the transformation series. And today we're going to talk about moving from the status quo to becoming a change agent and what that means. And there's, I think, three parts of this conversation. So let's take a look. So on this line here that I have, let's say continuum, we have status quo on the left and change agency on the right here in the middle. And I have above the line leadership and below the line transformation. And the line is only representative of the fact that it's an arrow pointing towards change agency. And for me, leadership and transformation are synonymous. For me, they are. And so what did we talk about in our last video? That there are four things that we have to do, right? Or not have to do, but we can choose to do to become, to get into a space of transformation. What are those four things? Question your beliefs. Always question your beliefs. Why do you have a certain belief? Why does it make sense today? And be able to then, number two, let go of your beliefs. So let go of the things that you've held on to for such a long time that you believe that, and they've worked for you. That's the funniest thing about it, is those beliefs have actually worked. But inside of transformation is questioning, letting go, and then recreating your belief system. And how does that work? Well, you question the things that you know, right? Someone gives you more data, some other way to see something, so you question your belief and the thing that they've given you, and you say, what's that? And you let go of your belief and stand inside of a newly created belief. And then four is then you take action from those beliefs. Okay, so those are those four things. And it is inside of, for me, leadership and transformation that the move to change agent occurs. And so it's from the leader's standpoint of taking a stand in and up for transformation and disruption and moving from the status quo that we can then move toward change agency. And how does that look? And so I don't think I've done this conversation with you in a video before, but I've done it in other videos. And essentially, the way it works in my head anyway, from a change agent perspective, is that when you're a change agent, you're creating your future from the future. But what happens oftentimes with human beings is we do this. We look backwards in the past, and then we create our future from the past. And what do we get? Status quo. So anytime that you're standing, reality's that way, okay? Progress is that way. Progress is that way. Anytime you're standing looking at the past and using that and pulling it and putting it in the future, you have the continuation of the status quo. However, when you stand in the future looking out towards stand in the present looking out toward the future, and you create your future from the future, you are in change agency and you are creating something new, possibly and potentially something no one's ever seen before, okay? So 3 tips for those leaders inside of this video and anywhere who are interested in moving from status quo to change agency. 3 tips. 1, create your future from your future. We just talked about that, right? 2, don't take barriers and non-understanding personally, and I still work on this, because oftentimes change agents can be seen as disruptive, or there's other adjectives to utilize, but don't take it personally when you're questioned or you're told, no, that can't work or that won't work. That happens a lot when you're inside of transformation and creating change. 3, persist without resistance. And this is another one where I actually have written a blog about this before. Persistence is so important for leadership, to continue to persist inside the vision you've created. And then to do persistence without resistance, because when we start to resist, when people pull up barriers and say, no, you can't do that, or, oh, that won't work. When we resist that, and I still work on this every day, believe me, when you resist that, you actually get more of that, because then you give them back the same thing they're giving you, and it doesn't work. So persist without resistance. That is, I think, also important. And so in effect, what happens here, and I'm just going to draw it because that's how I am, is that these 3 tips, then they all work together with the 4 questions, and the 4 questions, in fact, work together with 3 tips, and all of it works inside of a system where you can move from the status quo to change agency, and you can lead from the center just like that. Why is this important today? Well, I think it's important all the time. I think it's even more important today, living inside of a pandemic, when we must think about new ways to do the things that we've been doing. However, if we continue to stand looking backwards and just pull that past into the present, it will be our future and we will fail, or the possibilities higher of that. However, if we stand in the present and create our future from our future with letting go of those things from the past and just create it, we have such a greater likelihood of success. And that's what it's going to take inside of a pandemic. Ask a business owner. Ask them, what have you had to do? Pivot your business 57 times. Let go of all the things that worked. And they did work, but they might not be working today. All right, so that's it. That's it for today. That's the transformation video series part 2, moving from status quo to change agency. And I'm super excited. I don't know what the next video is yet, or it's over there on the whiteboard. I'm not going to go into it. But I look forward to part 3. I think I have 6 of these. So be healthy, stay well, and thank you for being with me during this time. All right, everybody, take care. Bye now.